Matt, you gonna do it? Okay, can I get a motion and a second for discussion, please? Oh, I'm sorry. Carrie Ann, roll call.
Anagnestakis. Brescia. Sutherland. Hines.
Here.
Kulisek. Paduk.
Here.
Menuda. Benton.
Here,
All present.
excellent. Okay, Matt, now it's your turn. Can I get a motion and a second for discussion? This is a request to release of the county's interest in into certain deed sale parcels to the previous owners of record.
I'll move it. Second.
Just make sure you turn your microphone on so that the system will pick it up for,
I have a red light. You hear me? Okay.
yes.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is a batch of parcels from a default judgment with a couple hundred or so parcels that we took a few months ago. We'll probably be coming in with other ones, but this is about, I think, 15. We may present a few more before the final meeting. I'd ask that they all paid, and we'll ask that our judgment be vacated and they can get their parcels back.
Okay, yeah, we always try to do everything we can to make sure people can keep their property if it's legal. So, any questions from committee members? Hearing none, all in favor as presented? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, Eric, you're up. We have Eric Rusher, Director of Real Property Tax Service. A is request authorizing the Commissioner of Finance for the County of Orange to make refunds or corrections of taxes in the amount of $2,500 or less. Motion and a second for discussion, please. Sutherland, Hines. Again, this is something that we do every year to, basically put it in his hands for minor corrections. Eric.
Yes, in accordance with Real Property Tax Law 550, basically that's, there's certain criteria within the law that the mistakes or corrections are allowed. And this is just asking your authorization, as it's spelled out perfectly in the sentence, to make these refunds or corrections for amounts $2,500 or less. And this is on town and county bills only.
Mm-hmm. There's no reason to trouble us with everything like that when you can just simply authorize it. Questions from committee members or other legislators present? Seeing none, all in favor as presented? Aye. Opposed? Carried? All right, next up, deed sale parcels. Can I get a motion and a second for discussion, please? Brescia? I'll second. Eric?
Okay, if I could, I'd take number 1 and 2 together. On the subdivision map, it's very vague, but it appears the intention was, when the roads were to be dedicated, to offer these strip parcels to the town. They are access parcels to a large parcel in the back for potentially future development, and not like the case we've had the last few months and stuff with some of these right-of-way roads and things like this. We could effectively landlock this parcel if we allowed the sale to go through. So, and actually, I did ask the town to supply me with planning board minutes that back up, this information of what the actual intentions of the lots were supposed to be for. And I really, at this point, think we should not accept these bids. And further, I'm going to work with the town to try to get the assessments reduced to 0 and potentially charge back the taxes to the town. So we're out of this. So I would say no. I recommend no on 1 and 2.
Okay, so question, so would this actually be offered to the town for them to hold on to so that if someone wanted to develop the property?
I mean, that was the intention of the that was the intention of the subdivision, but we did end up taking it for back taxes because unfortunately the assessor did put an assessment on it, which in turn made the tax bills come out, which the developer didn't pay. So I think that basically it's just going to leave it so it will follow the intention. I don't know if there's any future development in the back or anything like that, but it is just leaving that option open, which we really can't. I can't see we can move these lots.
So did we offer 33-1-19 the opportunity to buy this access way?
Basically, all adjoining owners were notified, and no one replied. 2017 was the latest that we offered the adjoining,
Because it'd be perfect for them to buy for a few bucks and
right?
open up their property. Access, that's all. Okay, so 1 and 2 are out. 3.
Number 3, Montgomery 10916, we've had this recently. This is one of the parcels that has the huge demo charge on it. It was basically a 3-family house, 40, and that was demolished. It's a nice level lot, gas, water, and sewer to the site. It's a little under the 5,000 square foot minimum, but I did speak with the building inspector in the past, and he did seem to think that a variance would be granted for this parcel, so it's as close to a buildable lot as we can guarantee. Unfortunately, he did make the minimum bid. He's been increasing his bid. I did have intentions of maybe raising that minimum bid up a little bit, but we are getting to the point of market value on this property. I did run some comps, and we could try to press it for a little more, but eventually, this is going to be a loser in the, once we do sell it. We may have some better success putting it in an auction or something where there's competition and whatnot, but of the $204,000 in back taxes, $80,000 of that is interest and penalties. The base tax is about $121,000. So I'd like to see us get a little more on that property if possible, and I'm recommending no at this time.
So do you think the bird in the hand is going to fly away if we wait too much longer?
It's going to be, it's no guarantee, but like I said, it does have good potential, the lot. It's worth a try. I do have conversations when people ask why, because he did meet the minimum bid. It just basically explaining, the loss that we'd have to take. There aren't a lot of these almost, it's not guaranteed as a buildable lot, but it's pretty close. Not a lot of these for sale for development and whatnot, but there's no guarantee we, wouldn't lose them, but it might be worth a try to.
Okay, any questions or comments from? Oh, okay. Jimmy Kay.
I can't believe you're going to get much more than $30,000 for a lot that size, even though it has water and sewer on it.
That's, take it now.
I think you might want to take the $30,000 and move on.
I'm all for that. I just was trying to squeeze out a little more if possible, but I'd be absolutely.
It's just buildable if that, looking at the dimensions of the lot.
Yeah, it's about
It's actually under,
87 by
but
50?
4360 as far as square footage, and the 4350, and it's a 5,000 square foot minimum. But I have no issues, like you said, taking the 30. I thought I'd try for a little more as a gamble, but it is a gamble.
Right.
I don't know how much more you're going to get than $30,000.
It's close to market value, guaranteed. We researched that,
Regardless of what is owed in taxes and demolition fees, there's only such a marketable value to a piece of property that big.
I can't disagree with you.
I'd like to make the motion, move on and sell that piece.
Okay, we'll hold on to that
Okay.
for just a couple more comments. Mike A.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. More of a procedural question. You've got a minimum bid of $30,000 on it. The person comes and he places a minimum bid. I know I go to auctions and what I collect, and I would be very upset if there was a minimum bid of something and I placed it and I was the only bidder and they told me you couldn't get it. I met the minimum bid, so I should be able to pick it up. So it's a procedural question. You asked for 30, you got one person that gave you 30. I don't know what we're waiting for. I would second that motion to go ahead and sell it for the 30.
The answer would be the legislature didn't approve it, but I think we have similar beliefs. Mrs. Gresham.
Yeah, I'll second the motion that Legislator Kulisek made. It's going to be diminishing returns on this. And there's no guarantee you're going to get a variance because you have to have a property owner to apply for the variance. And I don't think we're going to apply for a variance,
It's
So
not guaranteed.
it's, it's a tough haircut to take, but, let's dump it. No.
That's why I wanted the discussion. Jimmy, you already went to Mike.
Yeah, I have a little bit different opinion on that. You said, when's the next auction? We've already lost the taxes we're gonna lose until the next auction, right?
We basically, yeah, the next auction, we don't have a schedule yet because of, there's still the issue of, and now we're back with masks. We could be like, no more evictions and everything else like that, which could delay. So there's really no tentative auction in sight. Right now, it is assessed. It doesn't hurt as bad as far as the taxes accumulating because it's assessed as vacant land. But
Did you say what it was assessed for? Did you say that?
I think it has a market value of about, from the assessor, about 30,000.
From the assessor? That's 100%, 100% assessment or no?
That's equalizing their level of assessment. Their full market value is 33,000.
I just was thinking, I mean, the way land and houses are selling right now, a piece of property like that with water and sewer and gas, these developers may pay $20,000 more for that lot. I don't know. I can go either way. I just, I'd like to get back some more money that we lost.
Another restriction too on it is that, being that the three-family was demolished, I think, I believe.
Oh, there was a three-family on it?
There was a three-family on it, but I believe the case now is being that it's been discontinued use for so long that I think any kind of development would have to be a single-family residence on the parcel.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. You said the value was 33,000? So we're holding out for $3,000?
That's the market value.
Yeah, we got a bird in the hand. I think we should move on this. It's a pre-existing non-conforming lot, so to not grant an area variance, I think that municipality would be hard pressed to say no to that. Yeah, I say we move it.
This, was it the same offer, or the same person that offered 25,000 last month?
Came up 5, yeah.
And then you said no, and then he came up to 30, and you're gonna say no again?
No, actually, it's been 30 all along, so, I mean, he did, I think he's had a couple of bids on $5,000 increments, but last month, yeah, it was 25, the minimum was 30. This time he met the 30, so, I mean, I'm all with you. I mean, I'd love to see it. I just was looking at.
This is zoned single-family residence there, single-family homes? Is that what this is zoned for?
Yeah, there are.
So if there was a variance for a three-family, with this being now a vacant lot, they would go refer back to the original zoning, no?
The building inspector seemed to think that, just at this point, and they are trying to, in certain areas, really not keen about having too many multis in, so, they'll say, okay, you can rebuild on it, but, only single family.
Oh, it does work. Okay. My basic question is, can the county proceed to obtain the variance for the property prior to selling it? That way it increases its value, and maybe that would give confidence to someone purchasing it that they would actually be able to build on it.
I don't know, generally speaking, I would think that any kind of, we'd have to come up with a specific use for them to look at, to grant it, whereas another person coming in, the buyer might have an idea to build, whatever else, and we'd have to kind of just guess. I think, we're better off just moving on it.
But we're only asking for a variance from the minimum square footage of the lot, correct?
I don't know, I can't guarantee that the village would want to ask for more information about what's intended.
It just seems to me if we could clear that hurdle, it would increase the value of the property. And I mean, I haven't seen the value of the property, its location, and what's around it. But I know that in other areas of the county, $30,000 for a lot, even one that small, is a bargain.
That's true in other areas, and, that's why they say location, location, location. But I mean, we did run comps, and weren't really picky about the use of village lot sales or listings, and it's pretty much close to market value for Maybrook right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, generally, in my opinion, we're not developers, so we sell as is. So, Carrie Ann, roll call. This is the motion to sell? Yes, it's to sell.
So it's Kulisek and seconded by Anagnestakis?
Yes.
Anagnestakis? Brescia? Sutherland? Hines? Kulisek? Paduk? Menuda? Benton?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, Eric.
Okay, 4A and 4B, we have two bids on Mount Hope 5, 67.2, 135 by 255 lot on Whitlock Road. And this is classified as vacant with improvement. And there may have been a garage or something on the lot. Right now, it's a bunch of like concrete blocks scattered around. The topography from Whitlock Road is very steep. It appears original access in this lot was from around the back where there was some common ownership, like in the neighboring lots. And basically, it is under the 40,000 square foot minimum. And it was originally subdivided in 1972. The lot is 36,500. And right now, that the only access that would be available to the lot, and again, it does have frontage on Whitlock Road, but it would be awful hard to, Paul himself drove by that just last week, and it's would be difficult to put a driveway in. The back taxes are 14,616.67, with 9,000 of the taxes being the base tax. The rest is penalties and interest. We have two bids, one for 7,500, which was the minimum bid, one for 7,600, and I do recommend accepting 4A, 4A for 7,600 on this lot.
Okay. So, Eric, the little blue box doesn't surround what appears to be an old structure. Is that just off a little bit?
I don't believe that structure is on this lot. It's almost like rubble, you can't see.
Okay.
But I believe the assessor did leave a small bit of, sometimes they do that, leave a small bit of improved assessment on there to.
No, I'm just talking about the box because you said
Yeah, no, I see
you
it.
drove by it last week and checked it. I thought you would know if that was a
Yeah, it's not on the,
visible structure.
there's no visible.
Okay. All right. Questions from committee members? All right, so no questions. So we'll be voting to accept only on this page 4A. All in favor? We just voted to sell it. We separated that out since there was so much discussion. 3 has already been done. So the only thing left is 4A. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Okay. Is Carrie or Karen here? Oh. See, I don't even recognize you. Okay. 3A, this is a request to create a new fund, 1080, to account for the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funding. This will be rolled into the general fund for financial statement purposes and request to transfer the $37,385,041 in ARPA funding from the capital fund to the newly created 1080 fund to comply with New York State Controller's requirements for accounting in ARPA funds. Motion and a second, please, for discussion. Mr. Brescia, Sutherland. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. So as you stated, this is just, we realize it needs to be done. We are just asking to move it right now. It's in our capital fund to create a new fund where the money will be separated, the $37 million at this time, and when we receive additional money, it will be added into this pot. It's just honestly easier for accounting, for cleanup, and it needs to be done.
Exactly. Okay. Questions from committee members? Mr. Kulisek.
Was that the full amount for this year's payment?
The full amount is on the Schedule A of the $37,385.41.
Is that the full amount that we received from the federal government?
So far, yes, and we will be receiving another payment.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor as presented? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Thank you. On to sales tax update.
So the information that we provided, the last payment, when this was submitted, was on the 7th. After that, we received another payment, which was once again above budget. I will forward you that information after the meeting today, but it wasn't available when we submitted our request. So as of, through December 7th, we are 19.2% over budget. As I stated, we received one payment on the 13th, and we'll be getting another one in December on the 31st.
Okay. Can you tell us the amount for 13?
Sure. That payment was $3,552,975.86.
Okay. Thank you.
So we keep trending in the right direction.
Excellent. Questions from committee members? Seeing none? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Happy holidays.
Okay, next up, Deb, Budget Director. Welcome. What's new?
What's new? I keep saying it's going to get a slow time. It never starts that way. So the last couple of weeks, we have held department meetings, which with each and every department with representatives from finance and the county executive. And it's just basically to go over projected revenues and expenses, what open POs they have that they can close, and just end of year deadlines. So that's really taken up a lot of our time in the past couple of weeks. Just lately, I know I normally report to you on vacant positions. I haven't had that opportunity yet. We just were here 3 weeks ago, and I haven't had the opportunity to do that. So just to remind you that we did have 371 vacant positions at the end of last month. We worked diligently to fill those positions, and it just does take some time for them to do so. So I think other than that, the week after Christmas, we will load the budget so that we can start work on January 3rd.
Okay. Questions from committee members or other legislators present? Mike?
Deb, can you just refresh my memory? That 371 positions are funded and in the budget?
Yes.
All of them? Some
Yes.
are part-time?
Some of them were part-time. I don't recall the number, but that is, there still is austerity in there against those also. You have to remember that. And it isn't all taxation. So some of the positions do get reimbursement from the state or federal governments.
Have any been approved as of yet, do you know, of those 371 by the county executive's office?
There's a number of them. I can find out the number. We probably approve about 30 each and every month, but sometimes it takes them 3 months to hire somebody, to be honest with you. So we probably have well upwards of 75 open hiring requests out there that are approved.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Jimmy Kay?
Yes, going back to the sales tax revenue. So we got like $38 million above budget. That goes into the general fund?
Yes, it will.
Can be spent on anything, or just for the supplemental appropriation request?
Well, it'll just go into the balance of the general fund after we close the books. So anything
There's no restriction on it. I mean, the legislature can use that money for anything that they'd like, so please, right?
Basically.
Basically, yes.
Very good, thank you.
All right. Seeing no other hands,
We can't
Thank you very
afford
much,
any
Deb.
more retirements.
see you on video on the 22nd. Okay, next up, Eric, Commissioner, Department of Public Works. This is a request. It was a last-minute addition, but that's okay. It's a request for supplemental appropriation to the 2021 Orange County budget for the Orange County Department of Public Works Environmental Facilities and Services. The funds are in the amount of $1,300,000 and are needed due to the increase in solid waste tonnage. The transfer stations are going to process approximately 17,500 additional tons than was budgeted for. Motion and a second, please. Sutherland, Menuda. And again, I will be abstaining from this, but I'll hold the discussions. Eric?
Yeah, thank you for the last-minute addition to the agenda. Obviously, we need that authorization to accept more tonnage into the transfer station. We were here in October to increase the expense line item so we could accept more tonnage, which is, a good problem to have. And then a closer look at the books, the number's even higher than expected, so we're coming back again because we expect even more tonnage than originally thought back in October when we did the projection. It looks like right now, I think we budgeted around 90,000 tons for the year. That was budgeted relatively low, conservatively because of COVID. When we did the budget back in mid-2020, we didn't really know what to expect in regards to shutdowns and the economy and everything. We were way down in 2020 in tonnage because of the lockdowns and COVID. Now that everything back up, we're actually getting real close to about the numbers we were doing before the Newburgh transfer station was partially shut down. So it's a good thing, and we probably bring in close to $1.3 million of unexpected revenue projected right now.
Okay. Similar answer to the question, every time for this particular issue. Any other questions from committee members? Legislators present? Hearing none, all in favor as presented? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
All right. My desk is clear. Motion to adjourn is in order. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Yeah, I can take